Well, hi, happy 4th of July. I'm sitting here watching about the American Revolution and our founding fathers and their fight for independence. And considering that a number of them, such as George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, were hemp growers, think of their outrage if they were here today and they understood that 20 million Americans were arrested for using cannabis. And think of how that outrage would grow even stronger if they learned, as does seem to be the case, that cannabis extracts, a la Rick Simpson, can cure a number of cancers for a number of people and with a reasonable frequency. And we're not really allowed to have that option as free human beings. Forget about Americans, just the most basic human rights to use a plant to heal yourself, and our federal government thinks we're criminals because of that. That is governmental illness. Yeah, sadly, that mental is right in the term governmental. So we have to deal with that by being strong and united and voicing our demand for the freedom of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I'm constantly receiving emails and communication from people who have used hemp extracts, cannabis extracts, in order to treat their cancers. I hear of a number of very, very positive results. And essentially, the government has a policy that is literally killing Americans, the life part of liberty. And they're killing Americans by not only keeping hemp illegal, but so many of the blips, the backward-looking people, are too fearful to allow others to even speak, or they themselves have very little interest in learning the truth. The threat of something that might change their mind seems to be just too great. I've been dealing with a couple of circumstances like that in an effort to show some of the medically documented case studies of cannabis impacting on the lives of a number of cancer patients, ranging from benefits to actual cures. And trying to present that at the International Cannabinoid Research Society, the reviewer said that it was not properly formatted nor up to standard. Well, it's a little hard to believe that if you're talking about people getting cured of cancer, that information would not be something eagerly embraced, if not as an absolute truth, but as something to be considered. This marijuana and cancer story, it's not like we're fishing out of nowhere to come up with this. There are hundreds of peer-reviewed articles that show cannabis in one form or another, cannabinoid activity, be it the plant, be it the endocannabinoids, be it the synthetics, killing cancer cells, literally just about every type of cancer cell. There's something fundamental there that is true, and then you make the big stretch, the big leap. Some people are actually trying it, and they are getting positive results. So it's not like, we're taking something that promotes cancer and all of a sudden saying it cures cancer. We're taking something where all the science says should cure cancer, and we're showing some results of people, the citizen scientists that have been empowered by the medical marijuana availability in states like Colorado in particular, but others as well, where there's semi-reasonable laws. How could there be a reasonable law that's controlling your access to a damn plant, and one that happens to have anti-aging properties and kills cancers? Not to mention the fact that that activity is found in mother's milk. So we have to always come back to that. Nature, Mother Nature, has selected this endocannabinoid system as a very unique role. And it's only because of how it has such a holistic impact on all aspects of our biology that it has these very unique properties. And I firmly believe that it's the whole plant that's necessary. And there may be some tweaking of different activities, potentially with synthetics or with other medications, synthetic cannabinoids, that is. But the results that we're seeing are just already quite profound. And it's just insane that this government continues down this path. Interestingly, going from life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, a study recently came out that analyzed people's response, their happiness, their happy faces, essentially, and correlated that with their cannabinoid receptor genetics by sequencing not only the receptor but the regions of the DNA that control the expression of the receptor. They were able to show that a particular correlate with genetics and the level of somebody's happiness. So we know, even in modern science, that there's a connection between the cannabinoid system and our happiness. It goes back to the idea of the thermostat, the thermostat between stress generated by stress that either promotes fear and anxiety and tension and anger and aggression, or the opposite, analysis of the situation, mellow, peaceful, let's embrace the future and figure out how to get through it in the most beneficial way, where we can grow individually and together, because again, the foundational principle of the physics of life, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. So have a happy 4th of July. Be thankful for the independence that we have, because many gave their lives for it, but we have basically criminally insane people running the show. These backward-looking people are so deficient. For them to continue with the greed and the anger and the aggression, the incarceration, the harm to sick people, literally the killing even of our soldiers with PTSD and chronic pain by forcing them into narcotic addiction and suicide. Wake up. America, meaning us. We are the ones that have to make the change. Remember what happened in Russia. The whole system collapsed when the people said, screw you, the bull is over. It's time for a new game, and that's what we need to have happen here. A new game where the foundation of our country is wonderful. It's the corruption that's become endemic by virtue of who's populating it. And I certainly believe that it is cannabinoid deficient blips. Peace, love, happiness.